Hi everyone, my name is Kaylee and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Everybody, so it is currently 9:51 in the morning. I'm super tired, but I didn't film this video yesterday, which was Saturday, because I'm a terrible. No, I'm kidding. It's just been a super long past couple of weeks. We're moving to Florida. Yeah, that's pretty much that. Also, I will be announcing the giveaway winners at the end of this video, so stay tuned to the end if you want to see, or if you want to get to the end, come back, maybe. But without further ado, let me bring you guys up close. There we go. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, it's like dark in here because I don't have my ring light on, and I'm like procrastinating on putting it on because of how bright this freaking light is. Okay, it's time to turn. Okay, I'm not ready for this. Oh my god. Anyways, I'm going to do my quick little rundown real quick for most of the video. I will be looking in this direction because my mirror's over here and I would like to see what I'm doing. I do tell these story times in a first person point of view, so if you don't like that, then you can leave. And these story times are sent in by anonymous people. By the way, I did try to film this video yesterday and like I just had like the worst migraine and stuff, so I did try. Okay, so story time about my best friend's manipulative boyfriend. Period. Okay, sis. So a little background information. I was 18 years old and I was a senior in high school. And every year for spring break, the senior class would go on a trip. Now, not everybody would go on this trip. It was more of the social kids who were the ones who pushed for it the most. And the best part about this trip was there were no parents, nobody to supervise. So that pretty much meant no rules and we could do whatever the fuck we wanted. So period, we love that for us. Not to mention every year this trip is wild as fuck, okay? Like the one time the class of 2017 had 11 out of the 22 people that went on this trip arrested. Oh, and not to mention the hotel that they stayed at, there was over $12,000 in damages. Yeah. Well, this time our class decided to do the smart thing, which was rent out a whole motel for every single person, or rent out one motel that had enough rooms for all of us, so that way we wouldn't have any randos staying in the room next to us or anything like that, and we could pretty much do whatever we wanted without disturbing the peace. So that being said, I'm super excited to go on this vacation, especially because all of my girls were coming. And when I say all of my girls, I mean Janice. She low-key has borderline personality disorder, so it's like having a 12-in-1 bestie, depending on the day. Also, this is my first trip without my parents, so I'm super freaking nervous, right? Like, I am terrified low-key, because I know that if anything goes wrong when my parents are with me, I don't have to worry, because they'll just pay for it and they'll fix it. Wow. Then again, I can't have them see me blacking out and acting like a thought, so I guess it's better they don't come. So fast forward, we finally get to our destination and the sun was setting, so you know what that means. It is time to get ready to party. So I go to the gas station with a few of the guys to stock up on drinks. And after that, we all head to the beach and we get a fire started. And from there, everybody was getting hammered and having a great time. Okay, now fast forward. It's the end of the night. By 3 a.m., everybody is back at the motel getting ready for the next day. The next day, I have shopping plans with Janice, so I am super excited because Janice and I have never like been on a vacation like this, you know? Anyway, so like I said, I had plans to go shopping with Janice. We were gonna do mid-afternoon drinking also, but she said she didn't feel good. Now, I didn't find that suspicious at first. I was like, okay, maybe she drank too much the night before. That's fine, you know, we'll go out tomorrow. I was giving her the benefit of the doubt, I feel like, you know? So I went shopping with a few of the other girls that I was
No, I don't think you understand. I'm obsessed.
Motel, and who do I find at our motel? Janice's long distance boyfriend that she met on Tinder, who was supposedly a junior in college. Now this was definitely a little weird to me because This was our senior trip, not the bring your boyfriend from Tinder who you met 2 weeks ago on senior trip. No, that wasn't what it was. So now this bitch was definitely pissing me off. Like, this is the time for Janice and I to make mistakes, have fun, get drunk, and then laugh about it all later in life when we're old and boring. But nope, she has to ruin it. But yeah, as you can tell, I'm very upset and frustrated with her right now. Like, this girl really had the audacity to invite her Tinder boyfriend, a guy that she's known for 2 weeks, versus me. Like, this girl will really leave her best friend of 8 years for some dick that she hasn't even test drove yet. Whatever. I would say the worst part about their relationship is that she would always tell me how she thinks he's cheating on her and shit like that. And, you know, I get that some people are different in relationships than others, but like, if I were in her shoes, he would have been dumped already. I'm sorry, no. Like, she'll literally get girls DMing her on Instagram saying, hey, like, come get your mans, because her man will be in somebody else's DM. Like, girl, it's embarrassing. And I swear to God, I swear, every time that she confronts him about it, he'll be like, babe, someone must have hacked my phone, like, babe, I don't know, like, who that even is, like, that must have been one of my friends on my Instagram, da-da-da, this and that. And I'm just like, bruh. But she believed them. So, I mean, at the end of the day, we've seen people go through this shit. So the fact that she's thinking these aren't red flags and that he's actually telling the truth, like, okay, sweetie. Like, she just had no backbone when it came to him, and it was honestly very embarrassing. And anytime that I would say shit about it, she would go off on me and be like, don't disrespect my boyfriend.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth!
I don't disrespect any of the guys that you talk to, da-da-da. And I'm like, girl, because I've never given you a reason to fucking disrespect any of them. Like, I don't air my shit out. Even if they are cheating on me, I don't air that shit out. The fuck? So then I tell her, I'm like, all right, well, if your boyfriend has to stay with us, then I want you to still come out with me tonight. And she's like, okay, yeah, that's fine, da-da-da. So then she gets on her sundress and sandals and is about to walk out the door. And I'm like, excuse me, I meant come out with me and party. I did not mean whatever hoe popped out of nowhere and just decided that she was gonna be like fucking housewife. No, you're gonna come out, you're gonna drink with me, you're gonna black out, and we're gonna go throw up in the fucking ocean. Like, the fuck? So then she finally agrees to come to this one party with me that was being thrown by one of the locals, who was super hot, by the way. She did decide to bring her boyfriend. If I'm being honest, it wasn't too bad. Like, as much as I want to be like, I fucking hate him, like, it wasn't too bad, you know. He wasn't like being overprotective of her or anything, because he was flirting with other bitches. But I got to have fun with my best friend, so that was good. So after the party, we all get home, and tell me why the next day I get a really weird vibe from Janice's boyfriend. Her fucking gross, terrible boyfriend. It's really hard to explain, but do you know when you feel like somebody is watching you? Like, you just feel like their eyes are burning through your soul, and you're like, yeah, that's how I felt. It felt like I would catch him looking me up and down 24/7, like, but then again, I feel like he was looking at every girl like that because he was literally checking out every single fucking girl who came on this trip. Like, I'm getting very much pedo vibes. You're like 23, not to mention Janice is 17, and half of the other girls who are also there, because half of them haven't even turned 18 yet. So yeah. Well, later, I don't even know if he was like just doing this to, you know, play nice guy for a little bit, but he offered to take Janice and I out to dinner. Meanwhile, I was like hoping that he knew this was not going to change my opinion of him at all. But you know what? I say fine, whatever. He takes us out to eat, I'll come. Whatever. Well, dinner was great.
All for more ways to turn your home into a filing cabinet.
But, well, again, I got a weird feeling because I am not your usual dumb bitch. Red flag alerts were definitely going off in my head. So tell me why lie, Janice went to the bathroom, right? I'm sitting there, I'm on my phone, I had just finished my dessert, everything like that, you know, and Janice's boyfriend says dessert was great, but I bet you taste better, and I'm like, ugh. What the fuck?
Child. Anyway, so.
Yeah. Janice, you need to come get your man, girl. Anyways, at this point, I'm thinking that, like, I am fucking psycho.
This is harder than it looks.
I have some special gift from God because I saw this coming. Yeah. And I'm not even trying to be one of those bitches where I was like, oh my god, I knew that he liked me, da-da-da. No, like, I knew. And I tried telling Janice, this is how he is. Not to me, but to, like, everybody. So now I'm thinking that I have to tell Janice. But I waited until we got back to the hotel because I was not about to cause a scene there. And when we got back to the hotel and I asked her if she wanted to go smoke, she said yes. So
wrong salt.
I was shook at her response because I thought she was gonna be like, oh, like, this is your fault, bitch, like, you're gross, I'm telling everybody that you're a whore, this and that. But no, actually, I guess that city girl Janice decided to pay me a visit because she said, okay, I'm gonna go talk to him and I'm just gonna kick him to the curb at this point. She was like, I'm done with this bullshit. And I'm like, who is this? Like, where did you come from? Where? So she goes inside, right? I was right the whole time. Because before, I was like hyping her up. I was like, period, go sis. Like, you don't need him. Fucking kick his ass to the curb, da-da-da. She comes outside with my suitcase and fucking throws it out the door. And she was like, you fucking whore. Stay away from my boyfriend and I. And I'm like, I'm actually genuinely so confused at this point. Yeah, at this point, I feel like I want to bang my head off of a fucking wall. Because like I said, I knew this was going to happen. And I should have just trusted my gut. But thankfully, the girl next door and we had math together in school, so she let me stay in her room. Her and I were kind of close, which was nice because she's some person that I could at least have fun with while I was on this fucking trip. But funny thing though, since I was literally right next door to them, I could literally hear through their room, yeah, she's such a slut, like, oh my god, she's a whore, she's fake, she's this, she's that, and I'm like, wow, okay, whatever. So after sitting there for 30 minutes listening to them talk shit on me, I decided there was only one logical thing to do at this point, okay? So I snuck into the room at 12:30 when I heard Janice get in the shower. Well, I didn't really sneak in there, you know. And when I walked in, her boyfriend was like, hey, what are you doing in here? And I was like, I just forgot some of my stuff, you know. Lies, 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 lies. And then I just like say out of nowhere, and to think I was gonna let you hit. And he was like, what? And I was like, yeah, like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, I could tell you were giving me the signals the whole time, but you want to go and fuck it up. So then he started to apologize and stuff like that, right? Okay. We're getting somewhere. And I was like about to walk out of the room and he was like, I'm so sorry, please, please, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, well, maybe we could still do something, but I don't know if I can trust you now. So I'm playing this game, right? I find him fucking revolting. Okay, that is exactly how I feel about him, but this is pretty much all just to get back at fucking Janice. So I told him that I had to go to my room first to get a condom because I know sure as hell that him and Janice did not use condoms because she probably wanted to get pregnant by his love child. Ew. But in reality, when I go over to my room, I grab my phone. And before I take it over, I start recording.
To the what?
And the first thing that I say is, Janice, you should have listened to me. I didn't want to have to do this, girl. And then, okay, I took my phone over there. I get undressed while she's in the shower. And he's like, hey, just wanted to let you know I'm gonna go down to the beach and drink with the boys for a little bit. You know, I should be back up in a little. Lies, 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 lies. And then when he comes out, I'm naked on the bed. But while he was in like the bathroom talking to Janice, I went and I set up my phone in between the window like curtains so that way I can record. It lasted about 2 minutes though, not gonna lie. So after I hurry back up to Ella's room, Ella is the girl that I'm friends with in my math class who let me stay in her room, and I show her the video. Now, the one day that Janice
Shout out to the lactose free gals.
My friend first came in, I went out to eat and stuff with Ella and a few of the other girls. Well, we all had a group chat too. So I sent it into the group chat because when we were all out that one day, we were talking shit on him, saying how much of a piece of shit he was and stuff like that, you know. So I sent the video into the group chat and I'm like, if he's as loyal as she said, why did this happen? Huh? Like, why did he fuck me?
Why the fuck would that happen? It's a croissant.
So the next day we all go to the beach. Janice still doesn't know what happened. You want to know why she doesn't know what happened? Because the bitches that I hang out with are actually fucking loyal, unlike that bitch. So later that night, her boyfriend asked me on Snapchat, right? Okay. And he asked if I want to go have lunch with him. And I'm like, girl, no. Like, but then I think I can use this to my advantage. So what I do is I take Ella's phone and I go and I record the conversation and I go and I hold on his username so that way, you know, Janice couldn't be like, you liar, you photoshopped those text messages, oh my god. Like, no. So I made sure I had that as evidence or whatever. So anyways, we go to lunch, right? Now, I didn't even have to do anything, to be honest, because he dead ass took a picture on his phone of me with my drink, and I thought it was just a joke. So, you know, I post all cute, and he posted to his Instagram story. Yeah, so now I'm like, oh, fuck. Janice is about to fucking cause World War III in this bitch. Because Janice stalks his fucking social media. I'm not even joking. Especially when they're not together, because she likes to know what he's fucking doing every second of every minute. Like, she used to FaceTime him. When they first started dating, he was actually, like, in love with her, supposedly, right? I get you have a long-distance relationship, but she would FaceTime him while he was in school, while he was at a party. Like, girl, what the fuck? The obsession is real and terrifying and unhealthy. So I look at him and I'm like, you know Janice is probably gonna like rip your balls off, right? And he's like, I don't care, I've been having fun with you, da-da-da, and I think I have feelings for you. On that note, I'm gonna go off myself. Because as far as I was concerned, you were irrelevant, invisible, and non-existent to me. But anyways, then I get a text from Ella saying, you need to get here now, Janice is freaking the fuck out. Showtime, bitches. So after that, you know, I'm like, oh, well, you know, we better get back, hurry up. When we get back, Janice is literally screaming, crying, you know, the whole 9 yards. And everybody is standing around her, but whenever her man and I pull up, the circle opens, it's like a fucking movie. And she looks at me and she's like running and she's about to fucking jump on me and punch me, and her boyfriend goes and scoops her out of the way and carries her back into the fucking motel room, and I'm like, y'all bitches are crazy. Like, what the fuck? It's like shark season out here. So then I get a text from her later on that night asking if she can go out to eat because, you know, she feels bad.
Look at those tricks
today and stuff like that. And then when we go out to eat, she's like, yeah, no. He told me that, you know, I have been a little bit too overprotective and he should be allowed to have girlfriends, this, that, and the next. And I'm like, girl, we did a little bit more than friend things that night. So, I decide not to be a fake ass bitch. And I go and I go on my phone. I pull up the video and I slide it across the table for her to look at. And she looks at the phone and looks at me and I'm like, just watch it. And she watches the whole 7-minute video. Like, that is terrible. But anyways, yeah, she watched the whole fucking video and she turns it off, turns it around, and slides it back to me and looks at me and says, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
I'm literally gonna get violent.
Grabs her knife and tries to run at me. And then the fucking, so I'm screaming at this point, and they're coming over, they grab this bitch, they walk her away, as they should, because she's fucking insane, clinically insane. So while they're dealing with her, I call Denise's parents and I'm telling them what happened. I didn't tell them like what exactly happened, like with me fucking the boyfriend or whatever, because they think I'm an angel and I'm gonna keep it that way just in case we ever become friends again. So I get back to the motel after all that happened, right? Her parents have to come down and get her. And then I tell everybody what happened, and I tell her mans, and he was like, well, yeah, I was thinking about breaking up with her anyways. Maybe like me and you could. And I stopped him right fucking there, and I'm like, no. I told him, you better be on a flight back to wherever the fuck you came from today, you little fucking gremlin. I was like, you're lucky that I didn't tell Janice's parents that you're 23 years old with her, aka she's 17. And trust me, her parents will not take that fucking lightly, especially after what all of I just told them. After that, I never heard from him again. Janice never heard from him again. And after a few months, she texted me saying that she missed me. And I'm like, girl, no, we're not doing this. We're not. She said she is sorry for how she acted. And I told her, I said, listen, like, thanks for the apology, but I can't have people like
Coffee with Boxley.
She's like, yeah, like I promise it won't ever happen again. And I'm like, I'm not gonna have somebody in my life who's gonna throw me away for the next best thing, or for just a dick. Like, what the fuck? Like, I've been your best friend for 8 years and you're gonna throw me away for someone that you've known for 2 weeks. I don't need people like that in my life. Thank you very much. And all of you should take notes. Don't let a bitch do you like that. Okay, everybody, that is the end of today's story time. If you guys like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more of me, maybe hit that subscribe button down below. And if you guys would like to send in your anonymous story time, make sure to click the link in the description. But I
can't forget her puppuccino
giveaway winners. So if you guys didn't know, I have been talking about this giveaway in some of my previous videos. I'm giving away a bunch of Foreo products. This isn't sponsored at all, by the way. My phone literally doesn't recognize me without makeup on. That's concerning. Okay, so the first winner of this giveaway is Pretty Little _ Audrey. The next one is Blondie Alert 25. The third winner is Bella Panacci. I hope I said that right. And then Hannah _ C 737. And then the last winner is Maya B West. But yeah, I am super excited to get this shit out of the way because it has been very hard to pack with this box just laying around, because I think it's a box that's supposed to go with me and it's not. But I will see you guys next week with another video. But I'm here, I made it safely. Super happy right now. And then I have some few exciting things coming up, which I don't know if I can talk about right now, but I will be bringing them up probably in the next video. By the way, you guys are gonna get an extra video this month. I'm not sure when, but I know that I didn't post, not this week, but the week before, because I was having some health issues that I needed to get resolved ASAP, and I did get resolved, so thank goodness. But yeah, that's pretty much the vibe, you know. I'm gonna be way more active on all my social media, so if you guys want to go and keep up with me, make sure to click the links down below. All my socials are down there and everything like that. But without further ado, let's get into today's story time. Okay, so I thought this was a great story time to do with the Johnny Depp trial going on. I was going through my Instagram DMs looking for story times on there and everything, and some girl was like, I posted something with like close friends. She was like, oh my god, I have a story that literally is like almost the exact same but not. So I figured this was fitting for this, you know, era that we're in. But yeah, okay, so I'm going to bring you guys up close. There we go. Okay, so before we start this story time, just my quick little rundown that I do. For most of the story time, I will be looking in this direction because my mirror is over here and I would like to see what I'm doing. Most of these story times are sent in by anonymous people, and I do tell these story times in a first person point of view. If you do not like that, then you can leave. Get that bread, get that head, then leave. Peace out. Okay, so story time about my extremely toxic mother. You know, I love these story times because I feel like I can relate. Like, my mom was toxic as fuck. By the way, if this foundation does not match me, don't come for me. I've been tanning lately with sunscreen because we don't want to get skin cancer down here. So yeah, just please don't comment on it because most of the time I know and it hurts my feelings. Okay, so a little background information. I was 17 and a junior in high school, and this story time has to do with my crazy ass family, mainly my mother. First, I just want to give you a good look into my life real quick so you can know what kind of shit I go through on a daily basis. I'm gonna cry. Okay, so first of all, I have 2 older brothers who work for my dad's construction company, and they drink religiously, but I can't blame them. Sometimes I be drinking myself to sleep.
Sometimes drink whiskey and too, right?
Because my life is stressful and anxiety filled, and it's just not nice. It's just not a good idea. That will fuck them for free, and they love sports. My dad is basically the same way, but he surprisingly provides for us. I only say surprisingly because sis, the woman that he is married to, I'm surprised he hasn't left all of us. Anyways, it seems like he has a pretty good head on his shoulders, to be honest. Like, he actually provides for us, you know, he's there for us, or at least he tries to be. What the fuck? I'm just like layering different foundations on my face right now. It's absolutely ridiculous. But then there is my mother, who is mean, selfish, vindictive, unsympathetic, manipulative as and just when you think it can't get any worse, she is a compulsive liar. The worst part is my dad either ignores it or he drinks to forget about his terrible life. I think it's both. And I'm not gonna lie, my mom and my dad, there is a significant age gap right there. Like probably 15 years. I would say. But anytime that is ever brought up, my dad always says that he likes them young and batshit crazy. Well, you know what? If that's what he really wanted, sis, he met his match, like for real. With that being said, my summer was going pretty smooth, to be honest. I mean, considering the things that I thought were normal in my life, it was going pretty well. I had my friends over every day, or at least when my mom wasn't having a Xanax attack, like, yeah, almost every day. Yeah, my mom would pick fights with me out of nowhere, but most of the time it would only happen whenever she was like drugged up. Like when sis gets her pills, she becomes a fucking demon. And I know what you're probably thinking, like, oh, if she takes all these, you know, you would think it would be easier because she would be asleep. No. Just my luck, every drug that she takes has like the opposite effect that it's supposed to have on her. If she takes downers, it's like she's on crack. And if she takes uppers, sis is chill. Like, she's not that bad to deal with. Even though I would rather her not be on anything, but that's just me. I would say the worst part is she starts a fight over literally anything. Like anything and everything. Actually, scratch that. The worst part is when she wakes up after her manic episodes, she doesn't remember what happened, so she thinks that I'm lying about everything and she'll call me a liar. She'll be like,
why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
why do you lie so much? You need help. Like, no, bitch, you're the one who needs help. Now, obviously this bothered my dad, but he didn't know what the hell to do about it either. Like, my dad would always try to get her to calm down, and he never could. Like, he tried so freaking hard.
His Rollo under cabinet lighting is rechargeable
like, you know,
and motion
sad
censored.
whenever I would just literally text him and be like, it's a bad day, and he would know exactly what I meant, aka my mom's being batshit crazy again. So he would come home from work early, and since it was summertime, he would come home, cook on the grill for us. And I know you're probably thinking, well, okay, she can just walk outside and come and terrorize you there. No. She had a fear of the outside. Like, she did not like to leave the house, which that pretty much happened after all the drugs that she was taking. She sort of developed schizophrenia and this fear of going outside, just a bunch of shit. Now, if I remember correctly, it was July 10th when everything just fucking hit the fan. I had asked my mom if I could
Reorganizing
use her
my jump
car
drawer.
because she had like this little convertible. Super cute. It was my favorite pretty much, right?
I'm in my mum's car.
Well, she ended up going on this whole rant about how I only love her for her car and her money and her this and her that. Like, girl, you don't got no money. What money? What money? Well, fast forward, she ends up letting me use the car. But of course, I'm going to make a turn whenever a truck comes and fucking smacks into the car, literally runs it over. Like, I'm lucky to even be alive to tell this freaking story. So my dad, hurry up, he came to the scene, made sure I was all right, and
Make sure your
went
pens
and grabbed
work.
a few papers out of the car and stuff that he would need, but he also grabbed a few boxes. So we get in his car and he's like, you have some explaining to do. And I look at this box and it's a box of condoms and some papers. So I'm like super fucking confused. One, this isn't my fucking car. Two, I've been in it for literally 3 minutes. I'm never allowed in this fucking car. So we get home and I'm still trying to figure out what this shit is. He put it in the back seat, and as soon as we like get into the driveway, I unbuckle my seatbelt, reach back, grab that shit, and I'm reading the papers and I'm like, these aren't mine. And I was like, my name's not even on these. And what was it, you might be asking? It was forms for like an abortion. I don't know how to explain forms for an abortion, but that's pretty much what it was, right? So he like rips the papers out of my hand and he's reading them, and I felt very bad because I've never seen my dad cry. My dad makes sure to put on a strong front for my siblings and I. So at that point he was like, I need a minute, please get out of the car, like I'll be in the house in a few minutes. So I go in the house and my brothers are in there and I already am like spilling the tea. I'm like, listen to this shit, listen to this bitch. And it was like boxes of condoms and shit too, right? So it wasn't even just the fucking abortion papers, it was a Plan B, a box of condoms, and all that shit. And then we're like, wait a second, where is this bitch? So we all are like running around the house to find my mom, going to the bedroom, going everywhere to try and find her, and we can't find this chick nowhere. So my dad comes in the house, he's ready to confront her, and we're like, listen, she ain't here, dude. And my mom, she would like run out of the house to get drugs and stuff like that, right? But she would never like be gone for days. Well, in this case, she was gone for days. We were leaving her voicemails. My dad was telling her how much of a piece of shit she was, you know, like how much of an asshole she was, you know, pretty much like, hey, I've been here raising our kids. You have not been here mentally, and now you're not here physically. Like, fuck you, bitch. So, yeah, my dad is very, 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 very upset at this point. And I don't blame him. I'd be pissed as fuck. So fast forward, she comes back 3 days later. My dad already has all of her shit packed in the back of his truck. And he files for divorce, as he should, period. But the divorce took a long time because my mom didn't want to sign the papers, and she She got a little bit clean, a little bit, and her and the guy that she had been cheating on my dad with, finally she decides to sign the divorce papers, right? But she wanted the house and everything, and my mom would do like the some stuff for my dad's construction company while she did before she had all these fucking issues, right? Like she would take care of like the money aspect, but my dad hasn't had her do that in years because she's not there. She's not fucking there. She ended up wanting the house, the car, custody of me, which I was about to be 18 anyways, so like that was pointless as fuck. And she didn't end up getting all that, like thank God, but she did end up talking my dad into paying for the damages done to her car, like just so that way she would leave us the fuck alone. And that was better than anything, to be honest, because I'd rather her have her car than anything, because my dad worked too damn hard to give that bitch everything. So she got the car, and then she also got a little bit of money, and then she accused my dad of physical abuse and mental abuse. So yeah, she didn't win that argument obviously, because my brothers and I had multiple videos of her literally going off on us for no reason and just being abusive towards us and everything like that. So yeah, pretty much I've been in therapy for the past few years because of this shit, but other than that, yeah, my life is good. Okay everybody, that is the end of today's video. If you guys like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more of me, maybe hit that subscribe button down below. And if you want to send in your anonymous story time, make sure to click the link in the description. But without further ado, I will see you guys next week.